Imagine for a moment your old self. It's not a person standing in front of you. It's a presence inside of you. It's the familiar thoughts that spin on a loop, the emotional patterns you can't seem to break, and the past hurts you haven't fully let go of. As long as you carry this old identity, your world will remain exactly as it is. This heavy weight isn't always something you can see. In fact, it's usually invisible, a quiet burden you've been carrying for years, maybe even decades. You feel it, though. You feel it in the tightness in your chest when you wake up. You hear it in that little voice that whispers, "Don't get your hopes up." You see it in the same cycles you swear you'll break, only to find yourself repeating them again. This old self is woven into your body's automatic reactions, your biochemistry, and even your smallest daily choices. This isn't just your history. It's an active signal you're broadcasting to the universe, like a sad song stuck on repeat. Your old self keeps playing its tune, while the life you dream of remains on pause. Here is the secret that nobody tells you. You cannot walk into a new reality while holding on to the energy of your past. Most people miss this entirely. They try to change their lives by thinking differently, making vision boards, or writing down their goals. But underneath it all, they are still the same person. They wake up with the same familiar feeling of dread or anxiety, carry the same old stories of who they are, and wait for the world outside to change while they continue to vibrate at the same old frequency. Let's be honest with each other. That old version of you, that identity you've been carrying, was created for one reason: to survive. It was born from moments of pain, from times you felt rejected, or when you failed at something important. You never chose it consciously. It was a reflex, a shield you put up to protect yourself, a personality you wore to feel safe. Over the years, that protective shield became comfortable. You forgot it was just a mask, and it started to feel like the real you. But what if it's not? What if that voice inside that tells you you're not ready, or that it's too risky to try something new isn't the truth? What if it's just the echo of a version of you that you have yet to release? Quantum mechanics shows us something truly mind-blowing. Our world isn't just out there, separate from us. It's a mirror that reflects the consciousness that is observing it. It reflects your energy. You are not separate from the quantum field. You are the quantum field expressing itself as a person. So every single morning when you wake up and slip back into that old identity, what do you think the universe is going to send you? More of the same. It's not because you're unlucky or because you're doing something wrong. It's because the universe responds to consistency, and you are the one setting the tone. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. This is why the real work isn't about building a new personality. It's about letting go of everything that isn't truly you. Your old self wants to keep you safe, but your soul didn't come here just to be safe. It came here to grow, to expand, to experience joy. Being stuck is not your destiny. That heavy identity you've been carrying, the one built from your wounds, your heartbreaks, and your disappointments, is not the version of you who is meant to live the beautiful reality you've glimpsed in your happiest moments. That incredible reality already exists. It's here right now, not in some far-off future, but on a different frequency. It's a vibration you have to tune into, not something you have to chase. But here is the challenging truth. You cannot access that higher dimension while you are emotionally attached to your past. You can't keep replaying feelings of guilt, resentment, or self-doubt and expect your life to change. You can't show up as the same person you were yesterday and expect to step into a future you've never known. So what are we going to do on this journey together? We are going to break this cycle. We are going to meet that old self, not to judge it, but to set it free. We will thank it for the lessons it taught us and then give it permission to rest. Together we will step into the quantum field, not with our words, but with our energy. I will guide you in dissolving the energetic pattern of your past, so you can finally step into the version of you who is already living the life you've been asking for. The universe isn't asking you to try harder. It's waiting for you to tune in differently. You aren't stuck because your dreams aren't real. You're stuck because your sense of self keeps creating the same reality over and over again. But the moment you change that, the moment you release the weight, the wounds, and the old definitions of who you are, you will witness a miracle. Your reality will reorganize itself. Your world will begin to shift. The quantum field will respond not to what you said, but to who you've become. Take a deep breath. Can you feel it? Something is already stirring, and it's not coming from outside of you. It's rising up from within. Are you ready to meet the version of yourself that is already free? Let's begin. You wake up. Same room, same ceiling. The same thoughts start running through your mind before you're even fully awake. I hope today is different, you might think. But the second your feet hit the floor, your body has already decided it won't be. Why? Because long before your conscious mind gets going, your unconscious identity has taken over. You don't step into a new day. You step back into your old self again and again. Your body is a record of the past. It holds your identity not as a memory in your mind, but as a program in your cells. Your feelings become chemical signals. Your actions become automatic habits. Eventually, you stop responding to the present moment and just keep recreating yesterday until today feels stagnant, like an endless loop. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches us that by the time you're 35, a staggering 95% of who you are is just a set of memorized programs. Emotional reactions, unconscious habits, and deeply ingrained beliefs and perceptions. Simply put, most of what you think of as you isn't really you at all. It's a program, it's learned behavior, it's your old self, and it's running the show. Dr. Bruce Lipton takes this even further, explaining that the moment you change your perception is the moment you rewrite the chemistry of your body. This means your emotional and energetic state is literally creating the reality you experience. This is why making a real change feels so hard. You're not just trying to change your mind, you're trying to break your body's addiction to being the old you. It's the version of you that expects to be disappointed, that is braced for rejection, that deep down doesn't believe it deserves wonderful things. Not because you're broken, but because at some point in your past, your system decided it was safer to expect less. You didn't consciously choose this life, but somewhere along the way, your body learned that pain was predictable, and predictability can feel like safety, even when it's hurting you. This becomes the real cage, not your circumstances, but the identity you are too afraid to let go of, even when it's making you sick, even when it's stealing your joy, even when you know in your heart that it's not who you truly are. So let me ask you, with all the kindness in the world, what emotions do you live with most often? Is it guilt, frustration, shame, insecurity, doubt? What if I told you that these feelings aren't random? What if they are practiced? What if your body has become addicted to these emotional signals because they reinforce the chemical identity of your old self? And if that's true, what kind of reality do you think that emotional broadcast is attracting? Here's the tough truth that most people avoid. Your old self isn't just a memory. It's a powerful, energetic magnet. And the quantum field doesn't respond to your positive affirmations or your vision board. It responds to the emotional frequency you are broadcasting, day in and day out. You can say you want love, but if your core emotional state is "I'm not enough," you will energetically push love away. You can visualize wealth, but if your emotional home is anxiety, you will unconsciously sabotage opportunities. It's not because you don't deserve these things, but because your nervous system has not yet upgraded to the version of you that is ready to receive them. This is why you can read all the books, go to all the workshops, and repeat all the affirmations, and still feel completely stuck. Because real transformation isn't just an intellectual exercise. It's vibrational, it's physical, it's cellular. So what do we do? First, we shine a light on this cycle, not to judge it, but simply to see it. To understand that the person you have been is not a life sentence. It's a practiced frequency, a frequency you can stop practicing the moment you decide to no longer identify with it. This isn't about self-criticism. It's about self-liberation. It's about giving yourself permission to stop carrying the weight of a version of you that was only created to survive a world that no longer exists. Here is the beautiful paradox. The moment you start to observe your old self without becoming it, you step into the role of the witness. And in the language of quantum physics, being the witness changes everything. The observer is the one who collapses the wave of possibilities into a single reality. The instant you recognize your old self as just a pattern, you are no longer the pattern. You become the awareness that is watching the pattern. And that awareness is the first ray of light breaking through into a brand new reality. Let's go deeper into what is physically happening in your brain during this shift. Neuroscience shows that when you observe your thoughts and feelings without getting lost in them, you activate your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for conscious choice and awareness. At the same time, you begin to calm down the amygdala, your brain's fear center that triggers survival reactions. This is a real, measurable neurological shift. Brain scans show that people who practice this kind of observer awareness literally rewire their brains in a matter of weeks. The neural pathways connected to your old identity start to fade from disuse, while new pathways connected to your higher self grow stronger with repetition. This is why ancient spiritual traditions have always emphasized the practice of witnessing consciousness. They knew, long before we had the technology to prove it, that the act of observing your own mind creates real structural changes in your brain. They knew that consciousness watching itself is the very engine of transformation. What's even more incredible is that this observer awareness doesn't just change your brain, it changes your whole nervous system. Your autonomic nervous system, which controls your heart rate, breathing, and digestion, starts to shift from a state of fight or flight, sympathetic dominance, to a state of rest and digest, parasympathetic dominance. This shift allows your body to enter states of deep healing, creativity, and coherence that are simply impossible when you're stuck in survival mode. So now, I want to invite you to do something, but not just to like this video or subscribe. I want something deeper. Take a moment right now and declare this in the comments below. I am ready to release the version of me that no longer serves my destiny. Say it not as a hollow phrase, but as a powerful declaration, a conscious interruption of the old pattern. It's a message to the universe that you are no longer available for yesterday's reality. And if this message is stirring something deep inside you, something ancient, something true, something that feels like waking up, then I invite you to subscribe. not just to a channel, but to a new frequency. This space isn't about information, it's about transformation. And if you are ready for that evolution, then you are in exactly the right place. We've all been told the same things: ask, believe, visualize. And yet, so many of us feel like we're stuck in the waiting room of life, waiting for the big break, for the money to come, for the right person to show up, waiting for the change to finally happen. And when it doesn't, we blame ourselves. We think our methods are wrong, that we have some kind of energetic block, or that maybe, just maybe, we're not meant for more. But what if the problem isn't that your dream is too big, but that your energetic signature is still too small, too familiar? Here's the truth that most manifestation teachings miss. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you say. It doesn't care about your vision board. It doesn't even hear what you claim to want. It reflects only one thing: your state of being. This is the principle of energetic alignment. In quantum terms, alignment is when your thoughts, your heart, your emotions, and your actions are all in perfect sync. It's the energetic yes that the universe is waiting for. Not the kind of yes you write in your journal or say once in the morning, but the kind of yes that you live, breathe, and feel in every cell of your being. You cannot fake your frequency. The quantum field doesn't hear, "I want to be wealthy." It feels, "I feel lack," if that's the emotional reality you live in every day. It doesn't see the picture of your dream home if you are living in a state of fear. It doesn't register your desire for love if your emotional home is loneliness, comparison, or unworthiness. Not because the universe is cruel, but because it is precise. Think of the quantum field as a perfect mirror. You don't stand in front of a mirror and hope your reflection will raise its hand first. You have to be the one to move for the reflection to change. The problem is that most of us are trying to manifest from our old identity. We're using the mind of our current self to try and access a reality that belongs to a completely different version of us. But your future self, the one who is living the life you dream of, doesn't just think differently. They are different. They feel different. They walk into a room differently. They speak from a place of deep knowing. They have moved from wanting to being. Let's look at this scientifically. Every thought you have sends out an electrical signal. Every emotion you feel radiates a magnetic charge. Together, your thoughts and emotions create an electromagnetic signature, a vibrational message that you are constantly broadcasting to the quantum field. And that message isn't what you want, it's who you are. But here's what most people miss about this process. Your brain operates at different frequencies measured in hertz. When you're stuck in feelings of fear, doubt, or anxiety, you are literally broadcasting at lower frequencies, what scientists call beta and gamma brainwave states. These frequencies create a chaotic electromagnetic field around you that energetically repels the very things you're trying to attract. It's like trying to listen to a beautiful symphony when your radio is tuned to static. Meanwhile, your heart generates an electromagnetic field that is 60 times stronger in amplitude than your brain's and extends several feet out from your body. When your heart is in a state of gratitude, love, or appreciation, it creates what the Heart Math Institute calls heart coherence. This coherence literally changes the information your electromagnetic field is broadcasting to the universe. Think about that for a second. You are not just a body. You are a walking, breathing, electromagnetic transmitter, constantly influencing the quantum field with the quality of your thoughts and feelings. Every person you meet, every opportunity that does or doesn't come your way, every coincidence you experience is responding to this energetic signature you carry. This is why two people can enter the same room with the same opportunities and have wildly different experiences. One person's field is broadcasting, "I am open, I am worthy, I am a match," while the other is unconsciously transmitting, "I am closed, I am not enough, I am separate." The quantum field responds to both perfectly, giving them exactly what they are, not what they wish they were. So ask yourself honestly, what are you broadcasting? Does your inner frequency match the reality you say you're ready for? Or are you still broadcasting signals of scarcity, worry, and doubt while trying to tune into a reality of abundance, peace, and joy? Imagine trying to listen to a beautiful symphony, but your radio is stuck on a channel full of static. That's what happens when your old self tries to manifest a new life. If this is making sense to you, hit that like button and subscribe, because we are going far beyond positive thinking. This is about energetic integrity, because the universe doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what's alive in your nervous system. One of the most powerful discoveries in quantum physics is the observer effect. The act of observation turns a wave of infinite possibilities into a single, tangible reality. But here's the part we often miss. It's not just that you are observing that matters. It's who you are being while you observe that determines what you see. The mystic Neville Goddard said it beautifully. You are not manifesting, you are choosing. And the version of you that you are embodying is the chooser. Let that sink in. You are not pulling a future towards you. You are tuning into a future that already exists, selecting it, and matching its vibration. But you cannot align with something that your current self has never felt. This is why the real change has to happen on the inside. You become the version of you that naturally attracts what you used to chase. You don't pull things to you, you rise to their level. This is why trying to manifest without changing your identity feels like trying to move a mountain. You're attempting to build a new future on the foundation of your old self. And no matter how beautiful your plans are, if the ground beneath them is unstable, the entire structure will eventually collapse. Here's a real-world example. Imagine someone who grew up in poverty trying to manifest wealth while still carrying the nervous system patterns of scarcity. Their conscious mind can repeat affirmations about abundance all day long, but their autonomic nervous system is still firing off signals of lack every time they get a bill in the mail or check their bank balance. Their heart rate speeds up, their breathing gets shallow, stress hormones flood their body, and their electromagnetic field broadcasts the exact frequency of scarcity they are trying to escape. The quantum field responds to that authentic signal, not the words they are repeating on the surface. This is why so many people feel like they're doing all the right things, but seeing no results. The transformation has to go deeper. It has to happen in your nervous system, in your cellular memory, and in the unconscious programs that run 95% of your day. This is why the identity shift is everything. You're not just changing your thoughts. You're upgrading the entire operating system through which you experience reality. Think about how your old self moves through the world. How do they walk? How do they hold their body? How do they breathe? What is the tone of their voice? How do they react to stress or opportunities? All of these tiny, unconscious behaviors are broadcasting information about your identity to the quantum field every single second. Now imagine your future self. They walk with a quiet confidence. Their shoulders are relaxed because they are not carrying the weight of the past. They breathe deeply and slowly because they trust in the flow of life. Their voice is calm and clear because they know who they are. They handle challenges with grace because they see them as opportunities to grow. They spot opportunities instantly because their vision isn't clouded by fear. So, here is the question that is more important than any vision board. Who must I become to be a vibrational match for the life I desire? Not one day, right now, in this breath, in this thought, in this feeling, in this action. Because when you become it, the universe mirrors it back to you. Not slowly, but instantly. Not always in physical form at first, but in energy, in signs, in synchronicities, in feelings. You'll know it's working because you will feel it, that gentle pull in the right direction, letting you know you've tuned into something true. You'll stop feeling like you're pushing and start feeling like you're flowing. And that is when the magic truly begins. Are you ready to find out who your future self already is? You don't have to build a new you from scratch. You just have to remember the person you've always been underneath it all. There is a version of you who is already vibrating at the frequency of everything you have ever wanted. Not a future you, not some imaginary ideal, but a real, living, breathing self that exists right now in the quantum field. And the only thing separating you from that version is your energetic state. This might sound radical, but quantum physics has been telling us this for over a century. Reality isn't a straight line. Time isn't fixed. You are not on a linear journey from A to B, slowly building a better version of yourself. What truly exists is a vast, infinite field of present moments, all happening at once, all available to you depending on the frequency you tune into. In science, we call this the multiverse. In spirituality, we call it infinite possibility. Whatever you call it, the message is the same. The you who is thriving, healed, joyful, and magnetic is not on their way. They are already here, on a different frequency, with a different vibrational signature, in a different state of being. And your job is not to chase them. Your job is to close the gap between where you are and where they are by becoming their vibrational match. Let's stop for a moment, because this isn't just a theory. It's something you can do right now. Ask yourself, if your highest self were already living through you, what would they be thinking about? How would they be feeling? They would be vibrating with trust, with peace, with a centered confidence and a quiet joy. They don't create through struggle. They attract through coherence. Their energy speaks for them before they even open their mouth, and everything in their life, from their relationships to their health to their purpose, responds to that energy. Here's the truth most people miss. The universe doesn't rearrange itself for you because you deserve it. It rearranges itself because you are a resonant match for it. And resonance is not something you beg for. It's something you embody. That's why the most powerful thing you can do today is not something outside of you. It's choosing to stop identifying with your old story and to start aligning with your new one. Not because you can see it yet, but because you have decided to meet it on a vibrational level. You take the first step, and then the path appears. Let's make this real. Take a moment and close your eyes. Imagine walking into a beautiful, light-filled space. The version of you who is already living the life you dream of is there. Feel their energy. It's not distant or unfamiliar. It feels like coming home, because it is you. It has always been you, waiting patiently for you to remember. Notice how they carry themselves. The ease in their shoulders, the light in their eyes, the certainty in their voice. They don't have to prove anything to anyone. They simply radiate their truth. They have let go of the struggle. They have released the old programming. They have allowed the version of themselves that was built on fear to dissolve. And in its place, a new identity has emerged. Now ask this version of you, what did you have to let go of to become this free? Because the new self is not built by adding more things. It is revealed by removing, by peeling away the layers of conditioning, of pain, and of who you thought you were supposed to be, until all that's left is your pure essence, your soul, your truth. This is the great transformation. You are not becoming someone new. You are remembering who you've always been. You are not creating a new reality. You are tuning into one that already exists. And here's where it gets magical. The moment you do, the moment you stop identifying with the old frequency and start vibrating as your new self, the quantum field responds. It might be gentle at first, a new idea you've never had, an unexpected person reaching out, an intuitive nudge to do something your old self would have ignored. The more you follow that flow, the more your new reality begins to stabilize. You'll start to notice synchronicities, lucky breaks, and doors opening because you are no longer on the frequency of resistance. You are on the frequency of reception. And the most beautiful part is that your old self doesn't have to be your enemy. It simply needs to be lovingly retired, thanked, honored, and released. It was never wrong. It was just outdated software that kept you running, but it could never set you free. But what does this stabilization process feel like in real life? In the beginning, you'll notice small shifts. You might wake up feeling a little lighter, more peaceful. Maybe you'll find yourself making different choices, speaking up in a meeting, taking a new way home, or finally calling that person you've been thinking about. These small choices are actually huge quantum leaps. Every time you choose from your new identity instead of your old one, you are collapsing a new possibility into your reality. You are literally choosing which universe you want to experience. As you do this more consistently, you build momentum. You'll start to notice what physicists call non-local correlations, meaningful coincidences that defy logic. You'll think of someone, and they'll text you. You'll need something, and it will appear. You'll feel a pull to go somewhere and find exactly what you were looking for. These are not accidents. They are proof that your new electromagnetic signature is attracting experiences that are a match. This is when people around you might start to say, "You seem different." They may not know why, but they can feel your energy shift. And energy is something everyone feels, even if they can't explain it. Some people will be drawn to this new you, while others might pull away because your light reminds them of their own limitations. Understanding this helps you move through this transition with grace. Not everyone is meant to come with you, and that's okay. Your new frequency will naturally attract your new tribe. It's not about judgment, it's about vibrational physics. So, let it all go and step into the self who already knows how this story ends. The self who is already walking in alignment with the future you thought you had to chase. You are not attracting your new life. You are aligning with the version of you who is already living it. Are you ready to finally meet them? Let's not just talk about change anymore. Let's feel it. Let's become it. No amount of information, no matter how profound, will ever change your life unless you embody it. This is where the theory becomes real. This is where your new reality stabilizes through intentional action, energetic declaration, and total commitment. Right now, we are going to guide you through a quantum identity transformation. not by forcing it, but by gently dissolving the identity that no longer serves you and stepping into the one that does. Phase 1. Acknowledge the former self. You cannot release what you refuse to see. So give your old identity a name. It could be a word or a nickname that captures the energy of who you've been, the part of you that has been stuck in fear, doubt, and limitation. Maybe it's the worrier, the people pleaser, or the one who plays small. Whatever name comes to you, gently acknowledge it. Now speak to that identity. Thank it. It kept you safe. It helped you survive. But it is not the one who will lead you into your future. Phase 2. The ceremony of release. Close your eyes and visualize yourself carrying that old version of you, like heavy luggage filled with old memories, stories, and beliefs. Feel the weight of it. Now see yourself stopping, taking a deep breath, and gently setting that luggage down. You don't have to destroy it or fight with it. You just have to stop carrying it. See yourself turning and walking away from it, feeling lighter, standing taller, seeing more clearly. You have just dissolved the energy that kept you stuck and created an open space in the quantum field for a new frequency to enter. Phase 3. Embody the new self. Who are you now, without that weight? Feel into it in this very moment. Stand up or sit up in the posture of the version of you who is already living in alignment. The one who trusts their intuition. The one who radiates a quiet confidence. The one who no longer has to chase anything because they are already whole. How would this version of you breathe? How would they speak? How would they look at the world? Shift into that embodiment now. Phase 4. Anchor it with a declaration. Repeat this phrase out loud, not like a robot, but with deep feeling, with presence, with conviction. Say, I no longer create from the past. I am tuned to who I truly am. Again. I no longer create from the past. I am tuned to who I truly am. Let these words become your new frequency. Not just a mantra. Let them cut through the static of the old signal. Let them vibrate in every cell of your body. You are not just saying them, you are becoming them. Every atom of your being is listening. And more importantly, so is the quantum field. As you vibrate as this new self, the field begins to reorganize around you. Possibilities that were invisible before will start to appear. People who match your new energy will show up. Your outer world doesn't change because you wished for it to. It changes because you became someone new. You are now walking in resonance. And that resonance is your new reality. Here is the final, crucial piece. This ceremony is not a one-time fix. It's a doorway. It's a frequency you must consciously return to every time the old self tries to reappear, because it will. Not to harm you, but to be seen, to be acknowledged, and to be gently reminded that you have outgrown it. This is where most people get stuck. Maintaining your new identity requires compassion. Your old self isn't trying to sabotage you when it shows up. It's just following a well-worn path that has been carved into your brain over years of repetition. Think of it like a path through a forest that has been walked every day for decades. Even when you decide to create a new path, your feet will naturally want to turn down the old, familiar one until the new path becomes just as established. When old feelings like fear or doubt come up, and they will, remember that this is just your nervous system releasing stored energy. These emotional waves are actually a sign that the transformation is working. Your body is detoxing from its chemical addiction to being your old self. In those moments, the key is not to fight it. Simply observe it with love. Say to yourself, this is just old energy leaving my body. This is not who I am now. My system is clearing space for the new me. This simple act of witnessing helps the energy move through you instead of getting stuck. Some days will feel harder than others. You might wake up feeling like you're right back where you started. That's normal. These are integration days, days when your body and mind are working to anchor this new identity on a deeper, cellular level. On those days, be extra kind to yourself and consciously choose one small action that aligns with your new self, even if you don't feel like it. So here's your practice. Every morning, before the world gets to you, ask yourself, which version of me is creating my reality today? And then choose, consciously, lovingly, powerfully. Because when you do that, you're not just changing your day, you are changing your timeline. And the ripple effect of that choice moves through the quantum field, reshaping what is possible not just for you, but for everyone you touch. You've reset your identity. You've dissolved the past. You've stepped into the field as someone new. When you finally let go of who you were, reality begins to reorganize itself around who you truly are. Not in a few months, but now, in this very moment. The shift doesn't start when your world changes. It starts when you change. And maybe for the first time in a long time, you can feel it. That sense of lightness, that beautiful mix of peace and excitement, that quiet inner knowing that says, something is different. That's not your imagination. That is the quantum field responding to you. Reality was never as solid as we were taught to believe. It's not fixed. It's fluid, dynamic, and alive. And it has been waiting. Not for you to chase it, but for you to tune into it. This is how quantum creation really works. You don't pull your future towards you. You rise up to meet it. You become the frequency of the life you desire. And by the laws of the universe, the external world must follow. Not because it's magic, but because it's physics. Your vibration is the blueprint for your reality. And when you change your vibration, your life cannot possibly stay the same. Look around you. Nothing on the outside may have changed yet, but you have. And that is the only thing that matters. Because from this moment on, every thought you choose, every emotion you embody, and every belief you hold is either aligning you with your magnificent future or pulling you back to your past. And you have already chosen your direction. So now, the real practice begins, not in theory, but in your daily life. When an old emotion of fear comes up, you will remember, this is not me. This is just residue from the past. When an old habit tries to take over, you will pause and declare, I no longer create from that version of me. When doubt whispers in your ear, you will answer it with a calm presence. You will breathe deeper. You will speak with more kindness. You will act from a place of wisdom that your old self never had access to. You are no longer broadcasting the frequency of your past. You have changed your signal, and that change will have beautiful, unimaginable consequences. You'll start to see them soon. Unexpected moments of clarity. Synchronicities that feel like winks from the universe. People responding to you differently. Other changes will be more subtle but just as real. A deep sense of peace. Creative ideas flowing to you effortlessly, and moments of perfect timing that confirm you are finally walking in step with your true self. The observer effect is now working for you. Every moment you observe your life from this new identity, you are collapsing new, wonderful possibilities into your reality. You are no longer just a spectator. You are actively choosing which version of reality shows up through the quality of your attention and the frequency you hold. This is what the ancient masters meant when they spoke of dying before you die. They understood that for the true self to be born, the old conditioned self must be consciously released, not with violence, but with gratitude. You have just performed this sacred act of death and rebirth, not as a metaphor, but as quantum mechanics. So, as we bring this journey to a close for now, I want to ask you for something more than a like or a subscribe. If this experience woke something up inside of you, if it reminded you that there is a part of you that has never been broken, wounded, or stuck, a part of you that is infinite and whole, then leave a mark in the energetic field. Make your presence known. Speak not just to me, but to your future self and to the universe. Comment below. The old me has been dissolved. Let this be your energetic signature, a ripple you send out into the quantum field, a declaration of your transformation. And if this space has felt like more than just a video, if it has felt like coming home, then come closer. This isn't just a channel, it's a frequency, a gathering place for those of us who are collapsing old timelines and rising into the truth of who we were always meant to be. So subscribe, not just to stay in touch, but to stay in tune, stay aligned, and stay elevated. Because this shift isn't just for you, it's for all of us. And the more of us who vibrate at our highest truth, the more our world will begin to reflect that beauty back to us. You are not alone in this. You are part of a global awakening. And now that you have remembered who you are, you can never forget. Your old self has served its purpose. Your new self is already here. And reality is listening. Now that you understand how to dissolve your old self, you need to learn the specific quantum tools that make transforming your reality feel effortless. Watch our next video, Why No One Gets Quantum Manifestation, even though it's simple, to discover the missing piece that makes this process automatic and unstoppable.